Okay. Dean Gornitis, unleash this book reviews. Am I in focus enough for you? Yes, I am. Dean Gornitis, unleash this book reviews, bringing you new book reviews on contemporary literature, modern literature, all sorts of books, and comic books like I'm doing today. First off, I'd like to do a little apology here on the lighting, but I figured it's better to tape at night than not tape at all, and hey, I'm asking Santa for some new lighting for Christmas, so who knows? Maybe we'll get even more professional. Anyways, I have gotten requests for another comic book review sort of thing, and I don't know if I'm going to do this monthly or not, but we'll title this November's monthly whatever review thing, and I'll tell you about the comics I've been reading and whether I think that they're good or bad or whatever. Alright, so I got a long list here. Different things that I've been reading. And we'll start off with a little update on some of the things that I told you about last review. Batman, for example, started out with issue number 12 3 months ago, I believe, and I whatever, kind of let down by that one. It seemed like a sort of filler thing before it got to issue number 0. And issue 0 was a thing that DC Comics did across the board for all their New 52, which was supposed to be like this commemorative 1 year into the New 52 thing where we'll give you a little new secret backstory stuff on all the different characters and all the different lines within the New 52. And overall, I have to say, I was pretty, let down by this number 0 thing. Just didn't progress the story at all, gave sort of unnecessary backstory, kind of just like a collector's item thing. So number 0 didn't do too much for me either, but number 13, which just recently came out, is the new sort of like big epic storyline that's going on across all of the Batmans, so to speak. Not all of them, but like Batgirl, Bat or Catwoman, whatever, quite a number of them. Death of the family, and it's sort of the reintroduction of the Joker, first time in the series, and he's a madman and he's killing people and being sort of the classic Joker, but a little bit more serial killer and a little less funny. Really psychotic, crazy. This is like, I think number 13 was my favorite Batman issue yet. Like, it was just solid, creepy. It definitely, I read it late at night, and it was like the creepiest New 52 comic I've read yet. I really enjoyed it. Good stuff. So I'm hoping that continues. I'm hoping Batman keeps going down the same avenue. Then I talked about last time, Animal Man and Swamp Thing. Animal Man and Swamp Thing did this whole, I think I told you last time, Rot World like intertwining, where the two of them have gone out and are fighting the Rots, which is the bad guys, together. And that was really cool. And then right after that came the issue zeros, which I told you overall were just disappointing across the board to me. They weren't horrible, but they just weren't anything that great, and comics are all about storyline almost, and character backstory, I guess, which whatever. And so when you got something that doesn't really push the storyline much and just focuses all on character backstory, it kind of bores me. Then 13 came out. Animal Man 13 wasn't completely, like obsessed with it like I had been when the issue first started getting rolling, like 1 through 6, 7, 8. Still seems pretty good. And Swamp Thing, on the other hand, like they're bringing in these stupid characters, and some DC fanboys are gonna get mad at me about this, but don't interject old characters just for the sake of them being part of the past of the story. There's this like devil dude, and there's this like woman who's all leafy or whatever, and I know I'm like mad offending you comic book guys, but it's just they don't fit yet, and don't force things like that. It's stupid to just force characters just for the sake of them having been in the storyline in the past. Focus on Swamp Thing. That was the cool stuff. I don't even know if I'm going to pick up 14. I've been on and off with Swamp Thing. Sometimes I love it, sometimes I don't, whatever. Then I started picking up Batman Incorporated, which is only on the 4th issue now. I've only read 1 through 3. That's pretty cool. I like the artwork in the Batman Incorporated. This is one that, even though it started on number 1 and is only up till 4, it still has incorporated years of backstory, which I didn't realize, and being new generally to comics didn't go over so well to me. Not so bad, but hasn't focused a ton on Batman and Robin yet. Some issues have been completely void of them almost altogether, so we'll see. Not entirely impressed, but then again, I haven't been reading this storyline for years, so yeah. What else? DC comic wise, I also picked up National Comics, which is this cool idea that they are it's going to be like a monthly like new story, like a one-shot type thing every month, which is great, and I love that, not having to stick to an ongoing story forever. I think this is great. I wish they did more of it at DC. The first one of this National Comics was called Eternity, which did nothing for me. In fact, I can't even tell you what the story was about because I read it a month or two ago and I don't even really remember at all looking at the front of the cover. But I think that says that it was nothing special at all, but I'm not ready to put this line, National Comics, down yet, because who knows, next month's story could be cool as well, you know? Lot 13, I just picked up this last week, which is a mini-series. I believe it's 6 or 7, I think it's 7, might be 6 issues long. It's a horror thing. The cover kind of reminded me of Silent Hill, so I picked it up. I like the artwork in this one, a little different, a little unique. The story itself didn't grab me yet, but there's potential, and it's only 7 issues long, so if by the end of issue 2 it's still not doing much for me, you can give it up. Know that, you know, they don't have much time to pick it up, but I think there's potential there, so I'm definitely going to be picking up issue number 2. Let's see what else we have here. Phantom Stranger, I think that's the last I have from DC Comics. This one I picked up at issue 0 because that's where it started, and it was like, it's a new one. They're only on issue 1 now, and I was grabbed by issue 0. It's a cool story of a dude who committed a crime, committed suicide, and then as his, like, you know, his way to pay back for the crime that he did, he has like 30 coins wrapped around his neck, and he cannot go on out of our world into the next world until he loses all 30 coins that are around his neck. And in order to, he loses 1 coin for each time he pretty much screws somebody over. He sort of hears a voice in the world that tells him that he has to do something to find a person and help them do X, Y, or Z, and he finds out every time he does X, Y, or Z, it screws over the person that he had to find. So it was a cool idea, but then I read issue number 1 and was really let down. Story just kind of fell apart to me. It was unengaging. I can't really point anything out specifically wrong, but to me it just seemed really kind of blah, sort of comic book generic stuff, and so I'm not so sure I'm going to keep going on that. We'll see. If I got an extra $3, what's the loss of money, I guess, right? But one more at the most of Phantom Stranger, and that's a 50-50. Moving on, I got a few more here for you. Let's save some of the best for last. I got well, let me skip the best for last thing. This one first. Marvel is now starting. They've lost a big share when DC rebooted everything. And now they're doing Marvel Now, which isn't a complete reboot, but it's rebooting a number of titles, including some of the biggest ones, you know, like Captain America, there's some X-Men lines, some Avengers, Iron Man, you know, a lot of their good stuff. So one of the first ones that they released is Uncanny Avengers, which is this combo deal between Uncanny X-Men and the Avengers. So I picked it up, issue 1, thinking, hey, issue 1, fun, cool stuff. Almost couldn't even finish it. Just blah, generic comic book superhero story again. Not interested. Don't think I'm going to continue that storyline, but I'm going to check out the other ones when they come out, like Thor, Captain America, all that. Why not? You know, issue 1, let's go for it. Marvel Now, cool concept. We'll see. For now, Uncanny Avengers, was not interested. What else do we got here? I've been reading Popeye, the new series, which is great. IDW Comics is re-releasing in these big collections, 50 pages long without a single ad in it. That's one thing that ticks me off about DC and Marvel, by the way, the stupid ads. Come on. I'm paying $3-4 for these already. Like, whatever. So for $4 you pay these classic Popeye comics from like the 30s, 40s, 50s, 50 pages of it. It's great. And then along with it, which I'm loving even more right now, is they've sort of rebooted Popeye itself in comic book form, and these are like 32 pages, I think, also without ads. I love that. The paper it's printed on, awesome. Not that glossy magazine stuff. It's like nice matte finished paper. Great, cool stuff. Is matte how you pronounce that? M-A-T-T-E, who knows? You know. But it's great, and like it's so true to the original stuff. Lots of just the complete layout with the words and the art is perfect. Just it's a great homage to some classic stuff, and I'm really loving it. It's great for like that right before bed stuff when you don't want to fill your mind with horror so that you have these horrible nightmares or whatever, you know? Cool stuff there. Then I've also been checking out Adventure Adventure Time, which if you guys, I don't know if you know, I'm a big fan of Cartoon Network's Adventure Time and regular show. Good stuff. In fact, I have Mordecai up here hanging on that you guys can't even see. My new Mordecai toy. Love Adventure Time and regular show. And Adventure Time comics has been going. They're on like issue 9 now, and that's been a lot of fun. It hasn't been as great as the TV show because it's written by somebody else, Ryan, I believe his last name is, and it's good fun if you're an Adventure Time guy. If you think Adventure Time's not that great or not that funny, the comic book's not going to do anything for you, but it's a nice supplement. Fun stuff. They've also launched a side thing, Marceline and the Scream Queens, which is a little like, it's going to be a short pack. I think it's 4 issues long, or it might be 6 issues long. That's just as fun. And then Pendleton Ward, who has created the whole Adventure Time universe, is released this. He's created a new comic book idea called The Bravest Warriors, or just Bravest Warriors, I believe. And that's on issue 1. That was just released October, and that was great stuff. Like, my girlfriend's a huge Adventure Time fan as well, so she's been reading the Adventure Time comics with me. She wasn't as big on Bravest Warriors. I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was like so much funnier than the Adventure Time ones. And like laugh out loud funny. So good stuff there. Lastly, I have been recommended by a few people to check out Chew, which is this like crazy idea where there's this like policeman cop dude sort of thing, works for the government, who has this weird thing where he gets the backstory behind everything that he eats. So if he bites into an apple, he suddenly gets a flood of memories of the tree it came from, the pesticides that it was used on it, and all that kind of stuff. So he uses this in crime scenarios. Cool concept, right? So, you know, you bite and chew a piece of the criminal that you're trying to interrogate or whatever. You bite his finger, eat a little bit of him, and you can like read his mind almost. All right, that was stopped for 1 second. So it's a cool concept, and the art is really cool too. It's just really original. This is the kind of stuff you get from the more independent stuff that DC and Marvel just doesn't seem to really get, you know? Push things forward, try out new things, try out new artistic techniques, stuff like that. I'm really loving this. I'm only on issue 1. I bought the trade paperback from 1 through 5, and I have a really good feeling this might very soon catapult its way into one of my favorite series I've read yet. That's what I've been reading so far in comics. I'll try and do another one of these for December if it seems like I've got enough content to kind of mull over. What are you guys into in comics, specifically that's on sale right now? I know there's a lot of stuff in the past that's great out there, but I kind of like getting the single issues over the trade paperbacks. It's more fun to me. It's only $3 or $4, so you don't feel as bad spending a lot of money trying new things. What are you reading out there right now, specifically that's published, that's being published currently, that's a lot of fun that maybe I should check out? Let me know.